أهلا وسهلا، حياكم الله جميعا أعزائنا الحضور ومشاهدينا الكرام في كل مكان، وأسعد الله أوقاتكم بكل خير، ونحييكم بتحية الإسلام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ورجعنا لكم في بطولة استثنائية من STC Play Gaming Hall. معكم أخوكم وجيه مقدمكم ومحدثكم في هذه البطولة، ومعي الأسطورة نورمال. حياك الله.
Allah يحييك وجيه. Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to STC Play Gaming Hall that's taking place right here in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. I am Yusuf, aka Normal, your stage host for today, alongside the amazing, the spectacular, the wonderful Wajih. Long time no see. How you been, buddy?
Hi Normal, I'm great, and long time no see too. I'm very excited, to be honest, to be with you as a stage host. ولكن مثل ما سمعنا احنا اليوم متواجدين في بطولة استثنائية تتكلم عن بطولة كبيرة في المملكة العربية السعودية وتحديدا في الرياض، ولكن بتكون عندنا لعبة Honor of King SEA Showdown.
Indeed, Wajih, two teams competing, but we have a special day, a special tournament, Honor of Kings SEA Showdown. Two teams are competing for the one and only spot, heading to the Esports World Cup.
Oh my God, we don't know who's gonna win. At the same time, we don't know who's gonna lose in this match. مثل ما ذكر أخوي نورمال، بتكون بطولة استثنائية تتكلم برضو عن فريقين بيتواجهون في هذه البطولة، والفايز بيتوجه إلى كأس العالم للرياضات الإلكترونية. ولكن أتوقع كلنا، مو أتوقع، لا أكيد متحمسين أن ندخل على هذه المباراة ونتعرف على الفريقين.
Indeed, Wajih, we are excited to start this matches. As I said, two teams are competing for the one and only spot. They've been competing for the past days for this opportunity. But what's going to happen in this match? So, Wajih, let's get started.
أكيد، خلونا نبدأ ونتعرف على كل الفريقين. وفي البداية أعزائنا الحضور، سمعونا أقوى تحية لبوم إيسبورت.
The first team are ready right now to dive into battle and their first and last match. But please, guys, do not forget there's one more team already and competing against BOOM Esports. But please, let's hear for, ladies and gentlemen, Rex Regum Kyun!
وبكذا نورمال واعزائنا الحضور ومشاهدينا الكرام، تعرفنا على كل الفريقين. مباراة بتكون استثنائية، وكل شيء بيصير في هذه البطولة بيكون عبارة عن أشياء استثنائية وأشياء كثيرة. ولكن ما ننسى أن المباراة بتكون عبارة عن بيست اوف 5، فكل التوفيق لكل الفريقين. وأما الآن خلونا نروح للاستديو التحليلي وبعدها بندخل على المباراة.
Indeed, Wajih, both teams are ready right now on the stage to dive into battle and continue their journey heading to the Esports World Cup, the last spot. Well, we wish them best of luck on their continued journey. But guys, because we want to delay that match any further, without further ado, Analyst, take it away.
Thank you so much to the guys down at the STC Play Gaming Hall. That has been a great intro. We saw those teams walking out. They are ready to go for it. Only one of them will be making their way into the next stage of the tournament of the Esports World Cup. 11 teams already there. Only one's going to make it. My name is John Allen. With me is Zero and Coco Reporter. We're going to be breaking down what's about to happen. Zero, let's start with you. Are you excited for this matchup? Are you looking forwards to what's about to occur?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the last chance for both BOOM Esports as well as Rex Regum Keon to try and qualify for the Esports World Cup. They've had, a lot of chances during the Season 2 Invitational, but this is their final chance. This is their final hurrah. One best of 5 sits between them and playing on the main stage tomorrow, in this coming week.
Well, they hopefully will be able to make it work for them. Coco Reporter, you're coming in. You've got that coaching experience, having played a lot throughout this season. Are you worried about what these teams are going to be feeling coming into this one? Are they going to be emotional, or do you think they're going to be able to keep that in check and really focus down on this game?
Yeah, I think it can be somehow intense for this match because both teams are from the Southeast Asia, and this region actually is not far away from me. And these two teams, they are improving a lot in each tournament, especially for RRQ, because these teams, they can come from the bottom to the top, even in their own community tournament in that region. So I hope this match is going to be so much exciting to watch.
Yeah, they've got a lot of experience potentially against each other, playing in the same region throughout all of those days. So, Zero, let's jump into these teams a little bit, right? Sure. Are you looking at one of these two teams as being a potential favorite? Do you think it's going to be a big favorite, or do you think it's going to be a lot closer fought?
Well, honestly, John, this matchup is quite a toss-up, in my opinion. Both of these teams, they've proven that they can play on a big stage. Both teams have, their own pocket picks, their own strategies that they've had shown to be very, very good at executing. But when it comes down to a moment like this, it's going to be who is having the better performance today, who's feeling it today, which player is feeling better than their opponents, and what sort of strategies that coaches are going to bring forward to them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they are able to pull out the bag. And remember that you guys can log in now to claim your MVP Star Up card. So make sure you are heading on over into the game, Honor of Kings, to make sure you're grabbing that card and grabbing those stars. As we get into this game, as we get ready for this best of 5, let's talk a little bit about what potentially those strategies that we could be seeing coming through are going to be, right? So for between these two teams, you said, Zero, that there was a little bit potentially different styles. Coco, do you want to talk about, let's start with RRQ, potentially, about what we may expect to see in this best of 5 from them?
Yes, for RRQ, I think their main key factor is their ADC players, who is Jia. This player is actually from Malaysia, alongside with Bai, who is also the Malaysian player as well. And actually, these players played together before in other team, but right now they jump into RRQ, and Jia actually can be the one that carry the whole game for RRQ, so that they are babysitter as a support players, and we are going to see a lot from Jia, who can play a lot of playmaker for him.
So you think that there's going to be a lot of funneling of resource into this one player to try and be that one point of success, or potentially point of failure, because BOOM are going to try their best. So Zero, take us through who we're looking at, what we're going to expect from these guys.
Well, Toshi has been, the de facto MVP from the side of BOOM. He's been very impressive in that farming role. He's been playing a lot of very flexible, very strong marksman as well. Obviously, the marksman pool in the current meta is not very broad. There's not a lot of good marksman choices out there. You've got the Lady Sun, you've got the Arlie, which you've got the Diren J as probably the most popular picks. But outside of those, then suddenly, if you get one or two of those marksman banned out, suddenly you're really low on options. But Toshi has been showing that he can play anything that you put him on, and I think he's going to be the main factor here for BOOM.
Okay, so maybe that farm lane, quite a focal point in this upcoming best of 5. Going to be some potential priority on that, maybe in the pick and bans, but we'll have to wait and see for that. So we just saw that BOOM roster, and I asked you guys before the show one word to characterize BOOM and their approach to this match. Let's start with Coco.
Yes, for me is early, because the early game, the early stage for BOOM Esports, they can do a lot of snowball in the game, and if they can secure it, they will win the game easily.
So early game focus potentially. Zero, do you agree? Do you have a different word?
I would say cheesy.
Oh, okay, for BOOM.
Yeah, for Boom. Boom has been playing.
Okay.
They have shown that, you know, they can throw in the cheese once in a while. They like the pizza parties. They like their parmesan. They like their mozzarellas. We've seen Athena support coming out from them once during the Season 2 Invitational, and even in other tournaments that I've seen, you know. They're not afraid to go out of the box, to try something, to throw you out of your own proportion and playstyle. So, that would be the word for me.
Well, hopefully they'll be Gouda enough to take down RRQ, who are on our screens right now. 5 players. Coco, you highlighted Jav before as one of the main, most important players on this roster in terms of being able to generate that carry potential.
Yes, exactly. And I think we can focus on him for today's match because he is really the spotlight of the team.
Yeah, it seems like it's, as you say, quite a small pool of heroes that these guys can play. We're seeing some thumbs up coming through from the players. Are they waving to each? No, they're waving to the crowd. Okay, no, you can see across the way. They're just they're making sure everyone can see them. We're looking at you. We see you. RRQ in good spirits, it seems, at the start of the day.
Yeah,
Zero, are you thinking that's going to play well into them? Are they looking relaxed enough?
That's important, you know. First match of the day, you don't want to go in with jitters. You don't want to go in afraid, scared of losing. You know, it is sure there's a lot riding on this fight in this best of 5 for them, whether they make it to the Esports World Cup or not. But hey, you perform the best when you're feeling yourself. So it's good to see RRQ. They are in great spirits. Boom, they looked a little bit more nervous. But I think once they get into the Hero's Gorge, then everything just shakes off. They're the competitors, they're beasts, and they know when it's time to perform, they'll shine.
Okay, well, what's your RRQ one word then, Zero, if you want to take it from that?
I think if it's one word, they would be stable, right?
Okay.
They never, make any surprise. They're never very surprising, but they're always very stable in their laning, in their rotations, in everything, in their game plan. Everything, it's always just stable.
Coco, very, very quickly, because we're going to go to our casters in just a second. Do you have one word for RRQ?
RRQ, I think, is teamwork because they need to be the teamwork, and I'm sure that they can do it in this tournament.
Stable, teamwork, or early cheese is who's going to be able to win out this best of 5. Let's head over to our casters.
All the way from STC Play Gaming Hall, we have Boom Esports versus RRQ. Hi everyone, we're going to be your casters. I'm Yuko alongside Miss Kaisaya. And what a treat we have today. How are you feeling today, Kaisaya?
I am so excited and at the same time nervous because this is, again, the last chance qualifier we're talking about. The last chance to continue their journey in upcoming Honor of Kings Invitational mid-season this 2024. But yeah, at the same time, I'm really looking forward to what will happen on this best of 5.
Same, because we also talked about this offline. We won't be surprised if this series goes on a full 5-game series, right? This is all or nothing basically. And we recently had a patch, 3 to 4 days ago, and I'm sure the teams were able to adjust. Our panelist was able to mention the Athena support courtesy of Boom Impressive, which has actually a 100% win rate. I have my stats ready here, okay? We're gonna be talking numbers later when we do jump into the game, but how about you? Do you have any specific picks or players you want to highlight?
You know what? I'm just so curious if we will be able to see an Athena in here, because if you remember when they were actually in Malaysia before, we have seen, the Athena, but at the same time, we've seen continuous ban on the Athena. So I wonder if at the start of the game 1, we'll be able to see an automatic ban on the Athena of Impressive from Boom Esports. We'll just have to find out.
Not impossible, honestly, because he really loves to wait and make sure that he makes all these plays for his team. But right on cue, we're gonna hop into game number 1, pick and ban phase immediately. The long has been removed by RRQ and Maestro Nui taken out by Boom Esports.
A while ago, our analyst mentioned that there are actually quite a few number of farm laner heroes that we have in the current pool in the global server. So might as well just remove the long, pretty brand new hero as well in the current pool of Honor of Kings Global. So might as well just remove that. And then Athena, we were talking about this a while ago. We'll be able to see the Athena, which is one of the favorite strategy to pull off by Boom Esports. But then again, gonna be respected by RRQ.
They don't want to deal with that, okay? So they might as well just take it out and make sure Impressive will probably just pick someone else. Princess Frost will be the last ban for the first rotation. Looks like there's Dahlia available. There's a hover, but that means Hey No or High No is open as well if ever Dragon does want to pick it up.
Quite a decisive lock on that Dahlia pick coming from RRQ. We do know that this Dahlia is, liked and not liked for having reset all of the high cooldown skills of any of his preferred teammates. But then again, being hovered in here, Ogren, I wonder if this is actually gonna be locked in because pretty new at the same time. Pretty OP, as I would say in here in the current pool that we have in our case.
I do agree. And hey, this is a pretty new hero, still fresh from the patch. You also have Elaine being picked up by RRQ. And you mentioned how Celestial Melody can help a lot. I think that's gonna connect well with actually Elaine's death at Sunset. But going to the roam for BOOM Esports, you have a Liam Poe being picked up here, most likely going over to Impressive. And Arlie, Lady Jen, you know how it is. It's a usual combo for Toshi and Dragon.
I love this so far, what I've been seeing in the first 3 picks of BOOM Esports. They have a way to engage with the Lian Po, and at the same time, they have a way to disengage with the Lady Jen. And at the same time, in this first 3 picks so far, the Arlie very mobile. She doesn't even need a roamer to be around her all of the time because with her mobility, just making use of the Meeple Dance, she will be able to dash out or, just be away from any team fights or damage that she would want to avoid. So I'm loving so far the first 3 picks, but then again, I want to see how the Ogran will actually, contribute onto the team fights later on.
A lot. I think he will contribute a lot. So we're done with the first rotation of the picks. Haino being banned out by BOOM Esports. They don't want the Fate Rewind. They don't want towers to go back the moment they do take it down. And there's a ban on Musashi for RQ side. So they don't want these early tempo or fast-paced heroes going over to BOOM. And like what our panelists said, BOOM, specifically Zero, they're all about the early game.
That's true. But so far, what I'm seeing on the first 3 peaks that we have right now, I think RRQ needs to add some more sources of crowd control in here. Yes, we have the slow. Yes, we have the knockbacks. But I don't think that is going to be enough because although we don't have any suppress or like solid stuns in here, but we do have again the chilling ice coming from the Lady Jen and Lianpo, successive knockbacks and launches as well. So I think that's something RRQ needs to answer on while in their second phase of the peaks.
And I hope you guys are enjoying SEA Showdown. Don't forget that you can actually claim MVP Star Up. So you watch the stream and you actually get something free. So if you're inspired to play ranked games earlier and you want to be a pro player for Honor of Kings, get that freebie. And now there's also a ban on Marco Polo. The panelists, I think, already talked about this as well. A lot of priority on Toshi as well as Bai. And actually, Marco Polo is included in Bai's hero pool. So BOOM Esports, they did their research.
They did the research. I mean, this is one of his favorite heroes, and they would be relying so much on Jia in here for the farm laner. Primarily because, he's the carry. Overall, he's the carry on this. But one thing that also surprises me is that RRQ, they have taken out the Yuhuan themselves. Usually you would want to see a combination of the Yuhuan and the Dahlia, but this time they just want to pull off the Ogran for themselves, thus making them decide on to canceling out or denying the Yuhuan up against a BOOM Esports. But is this true? I'm seeing a hover in the Luba number 7. We don't see this often as he is not that quite of a mobile hero, but he definitely can clear off the minion waves really fast on the laning phase, and at the same time can dish out a lot of AoE damage.
You mentioned it, they locked it in. Okay, so I think that hero specializes in early game aggression, which Arlie obviously did not have in the early game. So I think that's what RQ is trying to piece together, make sure that they get to overwhelm BOOM Esports. And speaking of overwhelm, you know this, we all probably play this hero, Angela being locked in as the mid laner. We're gonna be seeing a lot of full-on damage here.
And then again, though, finalizing the pick in here, well, not yet locked, but Charlotte being hovered so far. But I would say the Kaiser definitely adding up some sustain. They do have some source of sustain and frontline power in here in the form of the Lian Pro, but adding up the Kaiser onto that will give them more capability to actually go for dives, to actually go for invades. So I wonder if we might be expecting BOOM Esports to actually go for early invades just within 4-minute game time. And if they do capitalize on that, I think it's going to be some goodness for the Arlie later on to actually be able to go faster on his power spike. But then again, we're done with the draft. They do lock in the Charlotte. But how do you think about the Charlotte last pick of BOOM Esports?
All right. So when we talk about Charlotte, you think all of these power graduation, full-on outplay, splash found, all of that, the whole 9 yards. I think we're going to be talking about aggression in different lane and in different roles. They just really want to be able to secure the early game. And we actually I talked about Angela earlier on. You can clear the wave with 2 Chaos Cinders. So if we're talking fast clear, RRQ definitely has that in the bag. But when we're talking about late game, Arlie is still one of the best farm laners out there. And I think BOOM Esports is drafting around Soshi's hero.
Sure, why not? They definitely would want to have that protect the queen composition for the Arlie, so sure, why not? But surprisingly though, we're not seeing an invade in this early game time. Even given the lineup of BOOM Esports in here having a lot of early frontliners like that of the Empo as well as the Kaiser. So everyone's pretty chill in here and waiting for probably they're just gonna wait for that level 4 for their junglers to hit.
It's the usual thing, just get those ultimate, like what you did say, get the level 4 before you started with something crazy. Now, Kaiser has been picked up by BOOM Esports. Here, I want to talk about the combo, Blade Tempest and Invisible Warrior. It's a lot of range and a lot of consistent damage that maybe they can use to possibly wither down Gia's life. That's going to be also Piers connecting onto one. But hey, it's an Angela in the early game. They're going to be A-okay. But someone that's not okay is actually Jester. Does have the ult connecting onto one, but that's going to be G being taken down, actually being focused down rather by Gia. But so far, Bai is A-okay. A lot of good attempts, but so far no casualties.
Yes, no casualty on that one, primarily because Impressive have so decided into actually going onto the bottom lane part of the map to, have that potential kill onto Gia, because again, Gia is actually going to be the one that RRQ is going to be relying on to in terms of their lineups, source of damage, and at the same time, just basically the main carries. But I think there could have been a casualty from what has happened a while ago. Maybe if Impressive have gone through that river fight, but he wanted to make sure maybe trying to give that kill onto the Arlie, but so that did not happen.
Did not happen indeed, but something that also didn't push through is actually the play that 663 did. Blazing Brilliance has been popped, but they were not able to get the pick off. Good attempt, Maple Dance, like what Kaisaya did say. It's all, you know what? Arlie is mobility. Okay, in Honor of Kings. If you want someone that can jump in and out of fights or clashes, this hero is definitely the one for you. Ladies and again, Ocean of Tears, all of those combo, but Clash Lane though, you usually expect a lot of jumping in and out, and right onto that is going to be Impressive, trying to take a fit into the map, blocking Nightmare's possible exit strat, but it's a no-no, so he decided to just go back under tower.
What my worry about here, only on the lineup of RRQ right now, is how they're going to be locking in the type of the Arlie pick, right? Because again, their only source of hard CC in here would be, the CC of Angela, but it's not even like a suppressed type of CC, so I guess they have to figure that one out, but oof, off-cam kill! A first blood onto Dragon!
Toshi! Ooh, that was a good attempt, but that is gonna be the answer for RRQ. 2-1 now on the board, and Bai still have his eyes set on Aji, but they decided to not pursue it any longer. We were just talking about the possibilities, but then for some reason, 663 said, you know what, I'm gonna get first blood. I don't care what the casters say. We're gonna make a play, and that was a good early game so far for RRQ. Impressive being stunned. Oh no, a lot of damage. That's gonna be the Blazing Brilliance connecting onto one, even by jumping in to secure that kill. 3 and 1 now on the board.
Really nice use, of course, of the Blazing Brilliance, as well as the Conductor of the Souls coming from that Angela, as well as the Ogren. It seems like all of their skill shots are fairly connecting so well in here, but then again, we saw the Shark Cannon connecting onto the Arlie again, onto the bottom lane part of the map, and another fight is happening in here in the jungle camp of ours.
Yup, that is going to be ultimately being popped by Nightmare. Miki trying to go up in, but actually Angela got the kill onto Dragon again. Look at the combo, that's been knockback connecting, and looks like that's going to be the kill or the answer for Boom Esports. They are trying their best to even things out now. Ode is available for Jester, but I think after that little skirmish, we're gonna have to let it go. Scorching Barrage being popped there as well, and Blazing Brilliance just to make sure that the wave is nowhere near the tower, mid lane tower for RRQ.
Oh, we just finished that early game. We just came onto the mid game and we saw the tower already going down on the bottom lane part of the map, and that is not looking good for the Arlie. Arlie definitely power spikes somehow mid and to the late, but given the number of kills that RRQ already has in this early game time, early to mid game time, I think there is definitely needs some catching up. Definitely, Boom Esports cannot die anymore, cannot offer their souls anymore onto RRQ because that will stop them from wanting to get the power spike. But look at this, look at the push coming from RRQ. It's just too much of a pressure from Boom Esports.
Pressure is definitely the word for it. See, Charlotte can't really try Slash and Power Graduation, Nightmare or Gia here because of the pressure and the power that they have, but at least Comms is still on point. When there is a play at the Clash lane, you do something in the farm lane. Toshi and Impressive was able to get the push, but RRQ got first dibs on the objective.
To be honest, I was expecting more zoning capabilities in here from the lineup of Boom Esports, but that is not happening. We are not seeing that happen as of yet. It is more an RRQ going for that space being created in order to take objectives tower or the epic monsters that we have. But so far in here, even though there's actually some more CC coming from the side of Team Boom Esports, it seems like for RRQ, okay, we don't really need to create some anti-CC item at this point in time because it seems like with the early advantage that they got, they want to lean on more onto damage.
They definitely want that damage. Oh, that's gonna be Frozen connecting onto one. That's good pressure coming in from Agi as well, but looks like Impressive. They tried to make a play there, but it did not push through. Instead, to be the 2K going over to Agi. Kaiser with all of those very good Invisible Warrior at the same time. Boom Esports not gonna stop anytime soon. By in the middle of everything, guys try to go to shot down. Gold is definitely secured. Impressive. 1v3 on the Liam Poe. That's something you do not want, and instead, Bai gets that double kill. He backed that 2K. 7 for now on the board with roughly a 1.6k gold lead in favor of RRQ.
HP regions here and there coming from the Ogren, add more from the Elaine and the Dolia heals as well. That was not looking good. If Toshi did not actually die, they could have gotten a chance in making a comeback. They could have turned the tables around, but that didn't happen because he was actually the first one to die. And at the same time, Luba number 7, Gia, was actually left alive, being babysitted so well by Jester F. Just able to free hit, and of course with some sort of anti-tank HP based damage, definitely impressive, as well as AJ6 will having a hard time in actually catching up on the damage coming off from Luba number 7.
Man, Sigta, it's a lot of these micro things making it a macro thing here in Honor of Kings. Definitely it is making a difference, but for now, no fights, no pickups. I think they had enough, okay? They tried to start a lot of fights and clashes, and they will try to make things work this time around. Again, from the 1.6k, it's now roughly a 2k gold lead in favor of RRQ. I noticed that they are the ones trying to make a play first, and let's see if they are good enough. As our panel host did say, President does jump in, connecting onto number 12, the Blazing Brilliance, connecting onto 2, onto 3, but Lady Sun gets a kill onto Angela, and still the back line, you have 663, no longer there rather, but Gia taking in so much damage in the front and up the back. Actually, Nikki did try to dive the back line, not going well, but something that's going well is actually going over to Toshi, was able to pop in with the Autumn Storm, gets a few kills. Now, Boom Esports, I think it's safe to say they do get that luxury of jumping in and out of the fight, but killing spree being secured by Crucial Healing going over to Jester with that wave breaker.
Wonder if this is done. Okay, they're gonna be separating ways for now. I'm actually happy that Toshi was actually able to catch up on that team fight, because a while ago we saw him coming from the top lane and he had to catch up on that fight. The rest of the members of Boom Esports was already actually on standby in the bushes, just waiting on potential team fight that could happen, and that did so happen, making Toshi catch up on that particular fight. Fortunately, he did, but I guess he went a little too aggressive in that fight, just dashing in, just trying to go for the potential kill and not even respecting the HP regen that the Ogron has as well. And of course, the damage and the lead that so far Luba number 7 has up against him.
I like how you talked about sustain health and everything, because this Kaiser is crazy. As even jumping coming in from Boom Esports again, but of course you have the power graduation, but the kill does go over to Gia. Crucial crack control going over to Bai, and looks like Boom Esports forced to take a step back. The Clash laner is down. They do not want any more casualty.
You do not definitely want any more casualties, but we see in here both of the teams are already going for that objective. With RRQ going for this Shadow Tyrant, definitely they will have the advantage on, looking for team fights, and that is something that they might be looking for, but that's not what, or at least if Boom Esports will actually decide on that. But for Boom Esports, I like what Toshi is actually doing in here, trying to catch up in terms of the farm that he needs to match up against the damage coming from Luba number 7. So this is something they're just trying to split something around in the map, and looks like there's a Sandris game that is about to happen.
Ooh, Nightmare might experience a nightmare here, but that will be Blazing Brilliance again. Looks like 663 is AFK, but someone that's not okay might just be Boom Esports. They jump in, but they answer back. Migi so tanky, getting all of those kills. But actually Toshi with the kite connecting, he gets that 2K. But now Dragon is also pretty much safe, but Toshi with that Arlie, Autumn Storm, Maple Dance, they are definitely dancing around this game number 1, enabled by Dragons, Ocean of Tears, and Destructive Deluge.
Oh, here's what we're found, where the tables have actually turned around, and this is the zone that we're actually looking for, coming from Impressive. Even though he actually has fallen down, they got the objective, which is the high ground turret. I wonder if this is gonna be it, because this is just Jester all alone in the map, and he will actually fall down. It seems like this is gonna be the end. A very fast game at almost 12-minute game time. Yuko, what a match.
Is Boom Esports in a rush? Do they want to, I don't know, get dinner or eat outside? Because like what Kaisai did say, that is a 12-13 minute game. But I also think they want to be wary of death timers, right? You have with Angela. I actually do like 663's play there. He does not hesitate to pop in with the Blazing Brilliance and with the Chaos Cinders. A lot of good combos coming in for RRQ, but I think when it did matter, that's where Boom Esports definitely stepped up. Lady Jen, I have to put emphasis on this hero. When Frost is banned, you pick up this hero because of the flowing side that stops your opponents from jumping in. You also have Destructive Deluge that has quite the range when you do pop the ultimate, and well, Ocean of Tears for the surprise factor. You might cry, but that's why it's called Ocean of Tears. But game number 1 just finished. What a way to open this best of 5.
That is so true. So, surprise factor, just like what you said. And we were even actually surprised that they have suddenly turned the tables around right after that Tyrant, or rather the Shadow Overlord take, and then the focus on the lanes, because they gotta take advantage of the buff that they very much needed, and that paid it so well for them. And you know, taking advantage of the sacrificial dive coming from impressive as well. But then again, I think our analysts will be able to say something even further from that match. Let's head back to you guys, casters.
Thanks very much, guys. That was a pretty crazy ending to that match, right? I think it's fair to say it came not quite out of nowhere, but it was a little bit unexpected for them to be able to go for that crazy dive over towards the high ground turret at the end. Coco Reporter, let's talk about how that game closed down, right? Because it all came off what seemed to be RRQ trying to take initiative, and then Boom just flipped it on its head.
Yeah, they are just quick enough to finish the game, and we can see that Impressive just focus onto the backline, onto Jia, so that they don't have the main damage output from RRQ side. And for the whole game, I think they are doing this repeatedly, and they just stop the farming from RRQ, and they just finishing it in the very early stage, just only like 12 minutes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I think you know, RRQ misread the situation. They were in the mid game phase where the heroes were slightly weaker. They didn't have as much team fight as what Boom had with the Lady Zen as well as the Lian Po. So when they tried to take that fight in that top lane, that was just a rough situation for them, because they're crowded in their own jungle, and Charlotte's able to cut towards the backline. You've got the Lian Po with the flash as well, able to cut towards the backline anytime they want. So if they don't instantly burst down the Lady Zen, and they did not, they took quite a bit to even bring her down low HP, but then she was able to save herself with her skill. If you're not able to take those fights very decisively in a short burst of time there for the side of RRQ, we saw what happened. You know, BOOM Esports took the better team fight, and props to their entire team as well. They spotted the win condition in the bottom lane, and they just went for it. It doesn't matter if their heroes were low HP, it doesn't matter if their opponents were respawning in 5 seconds. They knew that they had enough time, and they just went for it.
Yeah, with that extra help on the wave coming in, it just seemed to be the perfect time to make that one happen. There were a couple of weaknesses, though, for Boom. So this is absolutely a great start to proceedings, but do you think, Zero, that it's going to carry forwards? Because, I mean, the word that you used to describe this team was cheese. That felt like they were absolutely kind of by the book, almost just picking, you were saying during the draft, whilst we were off camera, you were saying it was very much by the book, picking their tier 1 picks there and making it very sensible into that match.
Yeah, I think, when it's all said and done, this is their last chance to qualify for the Esports World Cup. They are playing against an opponent where maybe they feel like, hey, we don't need to cheese against them. We just need to play our best. And game 1, it wasn't the cleanest game for both sides. There were slight mistakes on both ends. We saw Toshi a little bit over aggressive. We saw Impressive as well. Didn't really respect their opponent's good damage early on, and didn't back off in time. So might be just the first game jitters, might be just the heat there in Riyadh. But hey, if anything, game number 1 has shown us that both these teams, they can put up a good fight against each other.
Hey, it was pretty hot in the end of that match. It was getting real spicy. Coco Reporter, then looking at RRQ, right? What do you think they misplayed towards the end there? What would you adjust looking at what happened during that match? Obviously, it felt like they had a lot of momentum into this game. This is that early pick onto Impressive that kind of opened them up to taking some objectives there. What do you think you would adjust for RRQ moving into this next match?
Somehow they can they might just go into a bit deep, and somehow the backline doesn't have some front line to protect him, so that BOOM Esports can pick off somebody in the backline. And actually they are trying to find some opportunity to play in the early game, which is really good for the new hero of Grand, because this hero needs to be played in the early game a lot, need to do a lot of mission. But I think once he go a bit deep, the backline of RQ is doomed.
So you think it might be a little bit of a draft issue potentially? Maybe you need to have something that can consolidate that, or do you think it's more a play style thing, Coco?
I think it's more about the play style. and actually the hero as well. They need to fit with the hero that they just picked in this game.
Yeah, I agree with Coco. Like they picked up a Dolia, which is usually that frontline supporter. She doesn't want to stay in the back lines, protect your marksman. She wants to play in front with the tanks, right? With the warriors, with the jungler, and she wants to play in front. So if she's playing in front, then nobody's on the back line protecting your marksman. Then we did see, the Luban number 7, not the best marksman to play if you don't have anyone protecting him. So definitely agree with that. They have to draft around that sort of thing, or if if the draft is already done, then they have to play around what they've drafted.
Well, Boom are one step closer to their chance at qualifying for the Esports World Cup just around the corner, but we've got more matches coming right at you. Let's head over to Kaisaya and Yuko.
Well, again, that was a very fast 12 minutes a game, Yuko. Right, I believe you was so agree. Were you already that heated from that game 1?
Honestly, yes. And I'm not even the player. I'm just a caster from the English stream. That's how great they really were. And I think the panelists did talk about this. Momentum is definitely a thing when it comes to these, I guess, long series. More than best of 3, it is a best of 5. And they kept on talking about the draft. So, Madam Kaisaya, is there any picks you want banned out? Or anyone you want to be picked up by RRQ?
By RRQ, I think I would want to see them play the Arlie as well. I mean, Gia is again their main, their key player in here on RRQ. So I guess having them the Arlie, I want to see his potential in actually playing this hero around. And if so that he doesn't have to be babysit by, of course, their support, which is Jester F. So I guess having them, giving them the Arlie might be an interesting choice later on for game 2. But I wonder if that will be the case. And also, by the way, Athena, I wonder if it's going to be banned again. That just interests me so much.
Let's see. Anything can happen, okay? So moving on to game number 2. No sides has been switched. RRQ still wants to get that first pick. Oh, okay. They immediately banned out Athena. Okay. Safe to say, we might not see Athena being picked up by Impressive. But the change though, you mentioned that RRQ could pick up Arlie. The hero has been banned out by BOOM Esports.
Yeah, and it seems like they want to respect each other so much, and that's how competitive they are, respecting what they can play so well. Then again, in here, we're going to be seeing, again, another favorite pick of Gia in here. The Marco Polo will be banned out as well, and we see the Dolia getting hovered, which, surprisingly, they really want to make this work if they locked in the Dolia.
Okay. I mean, you talked about this, the Wave Breaker, Celestial Melody. It's a lot of things that could go right for them. But something that we talked about offline is the Futsu and Datsiao combo. We did see it being picked up by other teams in the Esports World Cup. But now, BOOM Esports, they want to give this combo a whirl. Please tell me your thoughts about this.
Oh, I love this. This is gonna be super interesting. Futsu and Datsiao combo. Not only you will be able to give that hard CZ up against your opponent, but at the same time, you can be globally present. Of course, with the ultimate coming from the Datsiao in here, you can go for that surprise attacks up against your opponent. So I wonder how BOOM Esports will be actually doing that. That will also, of course, depend on what they're going to be picking up for their farm laner and, of course, their mid laner as well.
They are taking their sweet time, but let's move over to RRQ. First time we will be seeing a Jing. The mirror domain, shattered illusions, all about jumping in and out. I think if we're gonna talk about access to backlines, this is definitely your hero.
Sure, why not? Access to backline in here, the Elaine, the Jing, so much, diving potential. So I guess BOOM Esports, you definitely would want to pick a farm lane that is quite immobile in here. We have a lot of options still. We still have the latest soon. We do have the Renji as well as the Consortium who can actually cleanse themselves up against, slows and CCs. So I do hope that is going to be some of their picks. A while ago, our analyst did mention that we do have quite a few number of farm laner options in here in the current server. So there will be, and we can see already 2 have been banned. So there are definitely lesser options. But for them, that is not the priority. They want to go for some CCs, and I'm seeing a lot of CCs already on the lineup of BOOM Esports, with Angela getting locked as well.
Agreed. They want to be able to go face to face against their opponents, but my being locked in, and Kaisaya mentioned this, Lady Sun being picked up. So it's another interesting farm lane matchup. But gonna touch up on real quick the reason why Shangguan has been banned out. It's because of the recent patch. Seething script, the stack interval has been lessened, and the base movement speed actually got reduced from 360 to 350. But now there's going to be a hover for Miggy's hero, a Byron. The usual matchup, nothing too different. Same, Byron versus Elaine.
Oh, now it was actually also answered that it's gonna be the Foots marksman or farm laner that they're gonna be locking in here. So I love the adjustment that BOOM Esports have done in here for their game 2. Gonna be very interesting. We do again have some CC again coming from the side of BOOM Esports. For the side of Team RRQ, we might be expecting a lot of dives and flanks coming from the back line and the sides, and at the same time some potential pick-offs because they do have a Mai Shiranui on their side. In terms of the matchup in the farm laner though, Lady Sun versus the Futsu, of course there's a shorter range disadvantage for the Futsu, but the Lady Sun will be able to, you know, just play around, just do the rolling raid here and there, and just avoid a potential CC or CC lock coming from the Futsu. But here we go, game 2 between RRQ versus BOOM Esports. This is the SEA Showdown for the last chance qualifier that we have for the Honor of Kings Invitational Midseason.
Yes, so don't forget to share the live stream, or tag your friends if you do like what you see, because these 2 teams has been at it ever since Invitational Season 2, and this is all or nothing. So we did talk about the Futsu and that Xiao combo. They're actually here in the mid lane. Hello to Impressive. I've seen him utilize this here multiple times, but there's going to be a jump in and out at the farm lane.
Well, they're not going to be committing on those engages of yet. Pretty much our junglers in here are not yet ready. And at the same time, of course, number disadvantage, you have to take note of that. You want to make sure that is like, you don't want to give the first blood, right, onto your opponent. So just, and again, this is the last chance. You don't want to get wrong. You don't want to go wrong.
Exactly. There's no room for errors here. And we mentioned Pei. He has been making his way into the meta because this Roaring Tiger stance does help a lot. But RRQ, they're jumping in and out of BOOM Esports terrain.
Well, RRQ, they do have that potential. Again, this is a Mai Shiranui, lots of diving potential as well coming from the Jing, so they definitely can do that. And this is what we're talking about, something that is quite annoying from the Daciao, Sea of Fate. You can definitely just go back onto the base to just regenerate the mana and just annoy your opponent. And okay, I'm gonna go for the last hit kill on him, or no.
Nada. Whenever they do use that, it's now you see me, now you don't. And it's very useful, honestly, with all of these team fights. But Gia does have a pretty standard and stable start for a Lady Sun.
I wonder, Holothop, because the Blazing Brilliance will connect onto the Elaine. Elaine will fall down. A nightmare. Ended up having a nightmare just within 3-minute game time.
Wow, there's a lot of pressure and priority definitely on the Clash lane. They really want to make sure Miggy does snowball, and I think they did not. Well, the thing here is, if you are up against an Elaine, make sure that he can't do the Moonlight Flash play. And I think that is something that you could cancel if you are using Angela with the Chaos Cinders, and that's something Dragon was able to utilize. But looks like there's a lot of focus here on the farm lane. A lot of 2v2 actions, whereas the other members from different teams, they're strolling all over the map.
Yes, that is so true. But it seems like everyone's just converging on the bottom part of the map already. Will there be a potential 4v4? We do still have the 52-second game time to wait for the next objective. So I guess it's now just, making sure it's going to be something that they can play safely. But there we go. We now can see the Eye of the Whirlpool calling the rest of the members of BOOM Esports in here. One will fall down. Gia is, but then again, will there be even more casualties because they are outnumbered in here? They don't want to make a mistake, but then again, Jing will actually go for the mirror domain, trying to go for the target, but damage is not yet enough. But they have to take note, Miggy is also here, and they will fall back. The swarm casualty will be enough for the meantime.
You mentioned this the moment there is a lock in on the dot Xiao, because the Whirlpool gate, but mid lane there's gonna be a play.
There's definitely gonna be a play, but then again, not enough damage as if yet, coming from 663 on that My Shiradui, and I guess they're pretty much not ready. But for the meantime, we can see this 1v2 tussle ongoing. Oh, look at that! Unfortunately, that intuition did not connect onto
Toshi.
that Gia, but then again, the rest of the members of RRQ will try to give that backup play for the bottom lane part of the map, and they will get the position onto the tyrant.
I think RRQ does not want to hear my analysis. They just kept on jumping in and out of these lanes. But yeah, I think in the previous fight, Miggy, Byron, Force Field Suppression, and Electrified Charge, it helped a lot to sustain and stop RRQ from making anything happen. But farm lane.
Oh no, the Dolia has fallen down. Jester F, I think that is a really well played intuition and Sage Might coming from the Futsu, and of course a follow-up damage coming from the rest of the members of BOOM Esports. But then again, without Jester F, definitely this Lady Sun Dia cannot actually just overextend on the bottom lane part of the map, but it seems like bye. Gotta be diving onto here. Will there be an ultimate coming in? Mirror Domain it is. Gonna be killing down 2 members from the side of BOOM Esports, and that is the payback. They should have expected that, I suppose.
Shattered illusions definitely shattered any plan of BOOM Esports to make a play down at the farm lane. You mentioned this mirror domain was used beautifully by Bai, and that is how you use a Jing. And well, Toshi was not able to utilize the hero so much. As you can see, sila some LD being popped just so this Gia can maybe jump in again with the Lady Sun. Already has ultimate shell available.
Oh, look at that. Elaine did actually cancel the teleport of the Byron from
no
that
teleport.
part. Yeah, no teleport for you're not going to be backing up your teammates down bottom part of the map. But it seems like there is a backup incoming from Dragon. Look at the Blazing Brilliance connecting somehow. But then again, this is a very mobile Jing. Had to make use of his mirror domain to actually be saved from that potential death from the Angel. I love how he actually, did not overthink about having to use that. But then again, we have a fight ongoing onto the bottom lane part of the map. It is a 3v3 situation in here. Look at that Elaine Death at Sunset being used. But then again, the Futsu will fall down onto the burst damage coming up from 663's My Shiranui.
We saw the attempt, he showed Ryu engine, but we also did see the teleport being used by Impressive just to make sure that Toshi is gonna be a-okay, but he did go 6 feet underground because of that. So I think it's safe to say this is the closest early game so far.
Oh, you're all alone in there. No one is actually so strong up against 3 members going from BOOM Esports. He had to make use of the mirror domain. I thought he would be escaping, but he tried to go for a kill. Then again, to Noah Ford. But for the meantime, you can see Death at Sunset being used already. However, one tower will fall down on the bottom part of the map. He will actually kill off the My Shiranui. There goes the chain. Nightmare trying to survive. Will be able to get some HP regen to Noah Ford, though, as he will fall down as well. And there goes the potential for a tower push from BOOM Esports.
3 words. Leaping Tiger stands. The jungler from BOOM Esports made that happen. Miggy's life was kinda non-existent, but he made it happen. Except right now, he also got taken down. But hey, that's fight after fight. RRQ, they definitely want to match the aggression that BOOM Esports has right now. But looking at the towers, things are pretty even. 1 tower down each team.
That's so true. And of course, the the comeback coming from the Jing killing of the Pei. We have an objective up in here, and of course without AG6, that is not something BOOM Esports can do, and thus they go for the pressure up in here to get an even better position on actually potentially securing the Shadow Overlord objective in here, or maybe they could potentially bait the members of BOOM Esports, and this is what they're actually doing right now. Angela will fall down, however, onto the hands of that Jing. More members in here from the backline of BOOM Esports, though, are actually being targeted, but then again, Gia will fall down, and there goes the rest of the members of RRQ trying to fall back because they don't have their main source of damage.
Did you see that? 663 Chohisatsu Shinobi Bachi was used just to cancel the Blazing Brilliance of Dragon. You have the farm laner down, you have the mid laner down. I think that's an even trade because they're damage dealers. They want to be safe, but no one is really safe if you have a Pei and you have a Jing in Honor of Kings, right? So I really love the adjustment that RQ did, and it looks like BOOM Esports, they're holding on to what they can while making sure that Sochi and Impressive are safe. Hello!
Hello, yes indeed. Here we go again with another mirror domain, killing off the Futsu in there. Not enough backup, not enough members coming from the side of BOOM Esports in here. They weren't able to utilize, of course, the ultimate, the Eye of the Whirlpool coming from the Daxiao. But then again, objective will this be actually secured? No steal, unfortunately, coming from RRQ. But there goes the chase. A lane trying to hit the back line. But then again, on the mid lane part of the map, we can see Jing trying to target one member from the side of BOOM Esports. To no afford, though, because again, thank you to the teleport. Sea of Fate coming from the Daxiao. However, the tower will fall down into the mid.
Everything, everywhere, all at once, and I love it because that means they are thinking maybe they're thinking 2 to 3 steps ahead. They want to be able to make pickups. They want to make sure RRQ is busy as Toshi and Impressive make some play the Clash lane, but there's gonna be a play here.
Uh-oh, look at the damage coming up from Gia in here, just bursting down the life of a dragon. But for the side of BOOM Esports, even though we have fights ongoing here onto the middle lane, there is of course a counter objective in here, a focus onto the top coming from the side of BOOM Esports. But then again, is this Gia still going for the potential chase onto Migi? Nope, he will just try to go for that clear on the minion wave in the mid. And then we have, of course, Nightmare gonna go for that defense onto the top side. I wonder if he's actually going to be able to survive this one because no. Actually, he'll be successful, but it's just, of course, Tatsiao as well as, of course, Futsu respecting that lane.
A defense is a defense nonetheless. At least he was able to clear the wave and he would take that win every time. So far I'm seeing a lot of good things happening to Lady Sun, to Gia. I mean, of course, Ultimate Shell and Frag Grenade is starting to hurt a lot. So maybe that's something Migi would want to be wary of because he is usually the one in the front line along as well as G6. But Dragon, he's too soft, okay? He really should be positioning better.
No, look at that knockback coming from Maishid Anui, but then again he will fall down onto the hands of Migi. Lady said no more into the map. 2 members remaining from the side of RRQ right now. The rest of them try to back away. Oh, look at that Nightmare will also fulfill. Now it's just Bai all alone, and there might be the chase. Then again, the Daxiao has that movement speed buff, and he's gonna go for the knock up. But then again, I think Bai, you have to back away. You're all alone. It is gonna be a 3v1 situation if so in case.
Yeah, that's not something you'd want, but Wilport has been activated here.
Oh, here we go! As just like what we have mentioned, I thought he would actually be backing away, but he decided to just try to dive in. I think there is a potential tilt happening already at this point in time, 12-minute game time, but this is not a good one. They lost the jungle, they don't have the smite for this vital objective in the game.
And another thing, they are really withering down the life of this objective. So it's a lot of things going so well for BOOM Esports. The only thing I can see right now is Nightmare. He really has to focus down on Migi because what Electrified Charge on a Byron around 13 minutes, it's scary, okay, especially if they do want to focus down on Dahlia, but I do see a lot of priority on Gia and 663, so that's what BOOM Esports is doing right now. On top of this Futsu Daxiao combo, just keep on pushing the towers, keep on making sure that you give space for your teammates. They're hiding in the bush though. Don't tell anyone. They do not exist. They're trying to make a surprise attack, possibly. But so far, Boom Esports, I have to say, their team fight is a lot more better this time around.
That's so true. But then again, here goes the fight that we are actually expecting. 4v2 situation. We can see the Eye of the Whirlpool already has been used, but Dacia will fall down. But the rest of members of Team Boom Esports actually already in here, dishing a lot of damage. Oh, look at this CC coming from Miggy. Miggy going for the chase. But then again, you're going to be respecting the tower. You have to wait for the Vanguard to come in. And there goes it. Jester all alone in the game. He is the lone survivor once more. Is this a deja vu? Because this seems like it is. The Blazing Brilliance will connect, and there goes game 2. And congratulations to Boom Esports winning that round.
Another ace. Guys, I mentioned this. Nightmare, he had to focus on Miggy. It's like Boom Esports could hear me cast all the way here in the Philippines. So he is so good with this Byron, and like what I've said, they have a lot on priority on the damage dealers. There was a good attempt from Jester. He did pop in Ode, but you can't really push back a Byron. He would just chase you down, jump in, Storm Strike. It's a situation you do not want to be in, but that has been game number 2. Objective, macro, and micro. I think it really just went well onto Boom Esports. The picks, the draft, they made all of that happen. And with that in mind, they now have the series lead 2-0. They only need one more game to stay there in Riyadh.
It's just a match point. Are we seeing it for real? This is very surprising. But then again, it's probably reverse sweep what we're talking about, right? So there's still hope for the fans of RRQ in here. But yeah, I did see the Pure Sky as well being, I forgot who actually bought that, but then again, Pure Sky being bought by Boom Esports, just avoiding the damage potential coming up from the Mai Shiranui, the burst damage of course, and at the same time, the burst damage coming up from the Lady Sun as well. But I think this is, Boom Esports, they seem to love fast games.
Exactly. You know, we always talk about the Whirlpool Gate being enabled here by Impressive, but I also forgot the Blazing Brilliance from Jagged on this Angela. Imagine jumping in a different lane only to use your ultimate with such damage. There's a lot of things that happen so well in favor of Boom Esports. We're going to be throwing it to our analysts so they can break down the game.
Thank you so much, guys. That was, again, a really fast victory coming through from Boom. That one felt a little bit more like what we expected from the draft, and they carried that straight on through. We were talking about the global presence a lot during that game behind the scenes. Zero, just walk me through how that impacted the course of that game.
I mean, that just created so much chaos as well as just created so much map pressure for the side of Boom. Like RRQ, they constantly had to defend against those two, the Fuzu and the Tachao, just split pushing on towards the side lanes. And you can never know how are they gonna react. If you're gonna send one player to defend, then they're gonna fight you on. If you're gonna put more players, then they're either gonna back off with the Tachao or use her ultimate to bring the rest of the team who is continuously farming across the map. So that's how, with these two heroes, with this cheesier draft that we were talking about, how Boom like to go for these cheesy drafts, they went for it. They allowed their heroes to continuously out-farm their opponents and use that network to their advantage.
Coco, do you think this is a style that can be countered in RRQ's next attempt at the draft or in the gameplay? Where do you think they need to address that?
Yeah, I think for me, this just about the gameplay, about the farming in the early stage, but once it becomes into the team fight, they cannot stand that long against the Boom Esports.
So you think that they need to just find vulnerabilities in other ways, not within that team fight?
Yes, because once Dasha just the ult and just calling all the teammates into the team fight, it will be a problem for them. Because somehow there may be like not 4 or 5 players in that place, and it could be like 5v4 for Boom against RRQ.
Yeah, the way that they were able to just manipulate the engagements to their advantage just repeatedly. You know, it's like, oh, they've got a cool collapse over towards the farm lane, right? Like they've got 4-on-2. Oh, no, wait, the rest of the team's actually here as well. Zero, that was, again, very, very fast. Is this, do you think, a death bell coming in for RRQ? Do you think that's going to break their mental? Or do you think that they've got something more that they can bring? Are you expecting them to be able to come back from this?
I mean, they have to, you know, wring out everything they have. They have to start pulling rabbits out of their hats at this point, because it is a match point for them. If they lose one more, then they're out of the Esports World Cup. So, you know, we did see RRQ, as always, their laning stage was phenomenal. But the moment it reached that mid-game stage, mistakes starts to happen. BOOM Esports seems to be able to get more across the map. And like what Coco was talking about, these team fights, they never seem to go in the favor of RRQ. It was the same way in game number 1, and game number 2 is no different at all, despite how well of a laning stage that RRQ had in the second game.
Yeah, it felt like RRQ were getting a bit here and there, but every time, I mean, again, this is another 4v2 collapse, and then here comes the backup, and boom, just rolls straight through it, right? It looks so crazy to be able to have that sort of pressure. This was that winning team fight that we saw. So we've had a 12-minute game, we've had a 13.5-minute game there. That's what we wanted to see from them. That was early. That was the sort of thing that you were looking for, Coco, in this team. For BOOM, they are putting that pedal right down to that metal, and there you go. You can see MVP coming through from Miggy. Do you think that's deserved, or do you think you'd attribute some accolade elsewhere on that roster?
Yes, I think he deserved it, because we can see Mickey sometimes just cut the backline, the mage, the ADC. You see the second skill with the flash to get in the backline, and he somehow can manage to get that kill. And we didn't see him drop a kill to RRQ, and 10:05, this is scoreline. Legendary.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty crazy stats coming on through. Out-earning everybody else. Actually, oh, no, just about out-earning everybody else. It was close, but it was only to his teammate. Excellent performance coming through from BOOM there. And I think that story that we talked about, that global pressure, really is the headliner. For RRQ, it looked like Bai might have had a chance, Zero, but he just wasn't finding impact kills. He's 7-3-1, but the impact just wasn't there.
Yeah, like they didn't get any objectives across the map after getting those kills. That was the main thing. They weren't choking their opponents. They weren't making them stay on their side of the map. And, you know, we did see that one death from Bai in their enemy jungle, where he tried to go in. He saw the Byron, he thought he got a free kill, but then they were actually laying a trap for him. And then once again in the mid lane, where the rest of his team just died, and he just decided, hey, I'm just gonna pop my mirror domain and try and take a fight there. But 2 mistakes, you know, really just stunted his growth, and he really couldn't find a way back into the game. Also, I want to, you know, put props as well. Give props to the itemizations from all the cores from the side of BOOM Esports. They all went pure sky, knowing the amount of burst damage that RRQ was able to bring out. You know, you've got the Mai Shiranui, you've got the Jing, you've got the Lady Sun. All 3 cores, they went pure sky, and they never died after that. Not a single time.
Yeah, that was sort of something that we were seeing maybe be a little bit of a weakness for BOOM in those team fights, right? That burst damage, but like I said, addressed. Coco, now for the next match. Let's look forwards. RRQ have to change something. They have to change. Maybe are they going to have to ban out that global presence that we've seen in the draft phase?
I think if they ban out some animal heroes that is not Long and Athena, I think one of the hero would be out, and someone would pick it. And I think RQ they don't want to let Athena go to a BOOM side, because once it is go to impressive hand, it would be a little chaos for RQ in the early game.
Okay, so but I mean, it seems to have been pretty chaotic in the early game anyway. So maybe it's time to add something else to the mix. Maybe try and figure out a counter to it, or throw them off their game. It's really tricky stuff. This best of 5 is now at match point, and it feels like we've only just started, Zero.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it's just the timing and the tempo, right? Like BOOM Esports, they've been able to identify when they're the strongest and when they're able to take the win in both games in very surgical fashion. They know that, hey, if we just take the Overlord, we take one good fight, the game ends there. And they played to their timing very well. They set up the timing very well. They set up the fight that they wanted very well as well. So that was just absolutely beautiful there for Boom. Early game has still been seen issues on both ends, but if Boom is able to continue on with what seems to be just superior game knowledge in terms of the macro strategy, then we might be in for a very fast series. But if RRQ is able to find an answer for all of that, then maybe they have another shot for the last slot in the Esports World Cup.
Do you think, Coco, based on these first two matches, that Boom are a team that could progress pretty deep into the Esports World Cup tournament if they're able to win out this next match? Do you think that this is something that would work at that stage, or do you think this is something that's tailored to RRQ?
I think they can go a little bit further than this for Boom Esports, and actually they just play only two compositions that we just saw in these two games, but their knowledge with this composition is really deep, and they can understand these heroes really well. So the other teams, the enemy teams, need to do some much homework to counter Boom Esports in the next stage.
Interesting. Well, that's if they get there first, because RRQ obviously still have got a chance in this thing. Hopefully, they'll be able to stand tall, because it wasn't too long ago where we were saying, oh yeah, we think this can go the distance, we think this can go to 5 matches. Right now, if I'm an RRQ fan, I'm pretty scared for their tournament lives at this point. Zero, are you thinking that it's are you feeling scared for them, or do you think that they've got a little more power, maybe a counter to that global presence, that pressure, that macro style?
I think they have to play a bit. They have to draft a little bit more well-rounded in terms of just covering everything. But so far, that's the biggest weakness I've seen so far, and it's really been just causing those snowballs. But hey, their coach is very experienced. You got C Shuai, he played in KPL. He's coached multiple teams previously as well. So this is the chance for him to really showcase what he's got to the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at what they have got. RRQ have one more chance to fend off Boom, or they will not make it to the Esports World Cup. Boom, can you do it? Let's head back over to the casters.
You know what? I think they can, to answer what our panel host did ask. But hi, we're going to be your casters again. I'm Yuko alongside Miss Kaysaya. Possibly the last game, but hey, if you are a fan of Rex Regum Kwan, do not falter. Do not fear, because I'm sure your team still has something in the ball for us. Like what Zero said, if they have any more bunnies, any more rabbits in their hats, they really need to pull it out. But Kaysaya, walk me through this. What could RRQ do?
Maybe they're just warming up. We wouldn't know. Maybe it's just a warm-up for them and they want to show off in this Game 3 how powerful and how prepared they are. But of course, they want it the difficult route, But let's head on to the draft. Let's find if there's going to be finally an Athena in here, or maybe an Arlie for RRQ as well, or, the respect on the Dacia again. But they pretty much answered us very quickly. Athena is back.
No Athena, no Long Still, and no Marco Polo. And again, to the viewers out there, don't forget that you can log in to claim an MVP star up. So you enjoy the matches, you enjoy this best of 5, and after this, if you're feeling inspired, you think you can get that MVP title, we definitely have the MVP star up card for you. But yeah, now we're waiting at the second ban for RRQ side. No Arlie. But now Boom Esports, they are at the blue side. Hover on Dahlia. We've seen impressive uses hero multiple times.
That is so true. Other than the Moxu as well, he's definitely got the Dolia. Seems like they want to show RRQ how to use a Dolia. We'll just have to find out. But the Dacia is open. I wonder if this is something that RRQ will be actually picking up for themselves. But suppose no, they actually would want to make the Ogren work. They have picked this from game 1. The Elaine as well that we've seen a while ago. Seems like they want to go for, again, just basically making this work. Go for the back line. But I guess they have to make adjustments in the playstyle that they want to do. But look at this one. A while ago, game 1, we were talking about how you sometimes we don't want to see the Dolia and the Yuhuan combination. Now we see it this time, and this is looking scary because we talk about the resets coming from the Dolia, and of course the heals coming from the Dolia and the Yuhuan as well. This could be an unending sorrow with the resets coming from the Dolia.
I like your wordplay there. And if we're gonna look at the stats from the group stages, I think Yuhuan for Boom Esports side has a roughly 15% pick rate. But let's see if they can make it work here at the SEA Showdown. First time, you will also be seeing a Garo. So I think RRQ, they really want to invest in this late game. You have Spear of Purity, Silent Arrow, all of those silences to maybe stop, I don't know, Agi or Dragon when it comes to fights.
Definitely, Garo is so good, especially in the late game. But you know how Boom Esports have been playing from game 1 and 2. They have been playing just on the mid game. You know, just get the farm that they need in the early stages of the game, and then go for plays in the mid game. So I wonder if we will see this Garo on her late game potential, because then again, she is going to be very useful in, of course, dishing out so much damage onto, you know, even the shields, prioritizing onto taking down shields, and then the HP, and of course range advantage as well. But again, she's not that mobile, so I think we need some sources of protection for this Garo on the lineup of RRQ.
That is the question, and that is something that they have to answer for themselves. Dharma being banned out as well as Mayin. Not obvious that they're focusing down on Miggy, wink wink. But you also have the Haino and Princess Frost ban here. There is a hover on Frank and Charlotte. We did see Miggy's Charlotte in game number 1. I think it's a lot less scary compared to how he was in game number 2. But hey, if it works, don't fix it. Just keep on doing what's the good job for your team, right?
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, we're talking about a lot of regen, a lot of anti-tank as well. So if so, in case this lane is not going to be much of a problem once this Charlotte gets the power spike that she needs already. But then again, I'm so curious what is going to be the roamer pick in here on the side of RRQ. Again, we want that protection onto the Garo. We do still have the option of having maybe the Junpei, which could of course was recently updated from the July 25th patch, having added a launch effect onto his S1 and S2 while on Ultimate. And are they hearing us? I wonder. Yuko getting hovered right now is a Junpei.
Well, probably. They're messing with our emotions. They're switching. Okay, well, let's see. They are taking their sweet time. Motsu, maybe, and okay. Final answer, they will be taking that Motsu. I think they really want to invest in all of these stuns, cannon blast, and think inside the box, because hear me out. I think this is a good pick solely because Boom Esports, they always want to be close to each other. All of these combos, all of these fights, they also have a Charlotte, they have a Dahlia. If you're Dahlia, you would want to be near your Fang, right? So this is a good pick for RRQ, but is this enough to push the series to a game number 4?
Yes, that's definitely the question. We do have to wait for that late game or the power spike for the Garo. I think they need to play around. This Ogran really needs to play around as well onto the Garo, to giving the farm that she needs. But then again, let's head on to our third game. Again, this is match point in favor of Boom Esports, but RRQ still do have a chance on trying to reverse this game.
I'm cleaning my glasses because I'm sure we will see a lot of good fights here. Again, RQ, their backs are at the wall, so they have to go all in. Impressive with the latest Dahlia skin. Looks like he really loves this hero. But yeah, the usual ult in the mid game to clear all of that. And the Ocean of Tears did connect on the 2, but someone that's connecting right now is actually Impressive and Toshi. No flash for this Garo in the early game. 120 seconds that this hero is immobile and you can actually jump in under turret.
This is what we're talking about. They could just bully this Garo all around, although she's got the range advantage. If we're talking about hard CC and of course the knockbacks as well, or the launch as well, you know, early game time without the power spike coming from GS Garo, he could be on a dangerous position, definitely.
And you know what? If you do have this hero, you would want to be very worried on where you do stay. At the very least, you have a Mai Shiranui that can just slide in, catch your send, and make sure that your opponents are far from where you are. But someone that's near their opponent is actually Aji again on this Yuhuan, making sure they can constantly apply pressure on this clash lane.
So true, and we have yet to see, of course, the duo combo of this AG6 Yohwan as well as impressive Dolia later on onto the team fights. I think they have to find a way onto picking off targets, and they do have the potential to actually pick off a target. Again, they do have the Mai Shiranui, maybe go for that knock-ups, and of course maybe go for that stuns coming from the Matsu as well, just as the hero, and just go for the pickoffs. But we have to find and to see if that's something RRQ can pull off.
Hopefully, because at this point they really need to just pull out all the tricks that they can to push it again to a game number 4 and game number 5. Because honestly, it's difficult for me to comprehend how you're gonna win 3 consecutive games against a team that's very in your face and with this lineup. But looks like Yuhuan still has his eyes set on Nightmare, which was able to get away. It's almost 3 minutes. No casualties just yet. It looks like both teams are definitely at the edge of their seats, but Toshi will be jumping in with the ultimate. You also have the Wave Breaker being popped by Impressive. He was silenced, but hey, he is giving space to their farm laner.
Definitely, this Yuhuan is going to be safe coming from any burst damage that the Mai Shiranui might pull off just to go for the ending sorrow. You definitely gotta be safe, being untargetable, and of course the stuns here and there, mournful tempo. He can definitely chase up targets as well because of the extra movement speed that this skill feeds.
Ooh, looks like Nightmare and Migi. That's gonna be a jump in for Migi as well. Power graduation no longer available, but Flash is still right there. Both at level 6. I think if you're able to force a lane to recall back to the base, you get that small victory. And with that in mind, there is space in the clash lane. They will try to clear the neutral jungle creeps or maybe make a play in the mid, which is where Dragon and Migi is waiting.
Seems like, again, pretty much similar to what we've seen from games 1 and 2. BOOM Esports is just like trying to take their time on getting the farm. I think that is also favorable to the side of RRQ because, again, GA is also having her free time or his free time on to getting the farm that he needs on this Garo.
Ooh, and speaking of Garo, Spear of Purity has been used and they do get the objective. Taking this one objective or maybe one level at a time. Jester is also there sitting quietly with his Matsu. Cannon Blast is available. He just needs to get Toshi and he's good to go. But someone that is being pressured right now is actually into mid lane. That was 663. But again, Cannon Blast is going to be connecting onto one. You have the Wave Breaker available, so I don't think RRQ can dive into farm lane just yet.
Everyone's pretty divided right now, though, and we have yet to see a play wherein the Ogren will work onto the early stages of the game. Again, we're going towards mid. Actually, we are already onto the mid game, and again, our analysts have mentioned Ogren is pretty much an early game type of hero. We want to get the kills, but so far it's already past 5-minute game time, and we have not yet seen any kills or objectives being taken by these Ogren on the hands of Vi. But I wonder, maybe right after this contestant onto the bottom lane part of the map, maybe some misposition. That's the time maybe we'll be able to find where Vi can potentially get a kill.
The keyword here is maybe, because it looks like BOOM Esports is a tight-knit group. But here at the mid lane, Aji will get spotted out by RRQ. Migi popping in with a power graduation. I think they're honestly just flexing the effects of their skins. Never mind! Effect has been made possible. First blood going over to Toshi, going over to BOOM Esports, and that is how you do it in the early game with a Fang and with a Dahlia.
Definitely, Fang, very mobile, can definitely chase targets as well, and at the same time, he has some source of true damage from his passive going undercover, and at the same time, of course, the AoE explosion that he's got from the marks as well. But for the meantime, seems like everyone's just gonna calm down, except for the top lane that we have, Miggy and
You know what? It's endless fight between these two Clash laners. See, Miggy is even jumping within the turret range. He does not care. There had no choice but to play conservatively as a lane, which is something you honestly don't want if you have this hero. You want to consistently jump in and out and, you know, just jump in with the Moonlight Flash and Death at Sunset combo. But combo by has been frozen here. That's going to be also going to get onto one. But Dragon does get taken down by Gia. Now that's going to be another kill going over to RRQ. And impressive pace for that with his life. We talked about Bai. We were looking for his presence, and here it is.
Oh, definitely would want that. And of course, that was Gia free hitting from the back line. Definitely BOOM Esports got caught off guard onto the middle lane part of the map. We did see the rest of the members of BOOM Esports was not actually in there, so they were actually like, okay, we were lacking members. They do not have this time the global presence, just like from game 2. Apparently, they cannot do that kind of play style again instead of just like catching. Instead, they could just like catch up, but they weren't able to do so, and thus the free hit coming from Gia, and they do get the tower onto the bottom lane as well, and this is looking good so far for RRQ because they're getting some gold and farm for their carry.
Agreed. And you mentioned Garo, you mentioned Gia. Enchanted Arrow, just give him space. See, right on cue. That's an on-the-spot showcase, courtesy of RRQ. Cannon Blast not going to be connecting onto anyone, but looks like the possible combo from Nightmare here will connect onto Miggy. But Toshi was able to get one turret down at the farm lane. Nightmare jumping in. He really wants this kill, man. But Miggy again with the sidestep, making sure I will not get stunned by this Matsu. But it looks like his turret was compromised because he got taken down by Gia. The longer they wait, the more space RRQ has in this match point.
Well, you gotta love the cross-map play BOOM Esports just did onto the bottom lane part of the map. However, we see this objective take coming from RRQ. Potential fight that might happen again somewhere in the riverside. So I love how they are actually going for objectives after objective. But potential fight can happen right now.
Ooh, that will be Flowing Sai used by Dragon, but that's going to be the ultimate being popped by Toshi. Jester taking so much damage. Again, you have Silent Arrow being popped, and BOOM Esports, they could not even go near the turret unless they did dive, and they do. But looks like RQ, they might be ready unless they have to let go of this turret, and they do. BOOM Esports, they got what they want. They got the turret. There's no need to fight, honestly.
That's true, and there we're pretty much safe, just getting all of those heals, both coming from Dolia as well as Q1. You know, we've got the Wave Breaker, and at the same time, we've got the heals, of course, the Unending Sorrow coming from U1 as well. But then again, 26k and 26k still pretty equal. I think for the side of RRQ, we just have to find that moment wherein, again, they could pick up a target. Again, they do have the Matsu, could just like spam his Cannon Blast, get the potential target, and then follow that bit, pick off that the Midseason we can do. But all of thought, because we might potentially see another fight that could happen.
Ooh, Yuhuan made things happen, but Gia was very, very low. And while chaos is happening onto the left side, Toshi on this Fang is like, okay, I'm just gonna take this turret, thank you, and goodbye bid you. Oh, it has been popped as well, and Impressive was able to give space for BOOM Esports. If earlier they were the ones that is in a pickle, right now I feel like RRQ, they're the ones with so much questions in their heads. Questions that cannot be answered unless they see a boom from BOOM Esports. And right on cue, objective being taken again. Miggy jumping in, has his eyes set onto Jester, and Dragon was able to finish that kill off. Combo after combo courtesy of Boom Esports. Toshi jumping in with the ulti, but he's very, very low. Impressive gets taken down. Bye-bye as well. Goodbye, Impressive. But now here comes Nightmare. Will this be a daydream or a nightmare? But looks like you have Death Assassin being popped. The shield is sustained. But Boom Esports, they want more damage. Jumping in as well. The kill does go over to Yuan. 4 and 3 now on the board. 11 minutes in.
We are so happy with Garo free hitting already, killing off some members from the side of Boom Esports. But then again, if we talk about sustain, there's just a lot coming from the side of Boom. Again, Hyuhwan and Dolia combo, can't get enough of that. But then again, add to that the power coming from Fang. But how spot fight still ongoing here onto the mid. Will they get another one? Okay, I go back to my analysis. Fang, we're talking about Fang. Definitely Fang making use of his Blade Storm as well to zone out targets, right? So there's just a lot of zoning potential coming from Boom Esports as well, together with the U1 stuns as well. But here we go, potential fight that could happen again.
Agi at the back line, Boom Esports at the front. That's gonna be the cannon blast connecting onto one, but looks like ult has been used as well. Agi the first one to say goodbye, and turrets are falling down. But Boom Esports, they want to go with the disciplined play. Their jungler is down. They're no longer gonna overstay. They're welcome. Blade Storm is a good, I guess, option for Toshi, but Boom Esports, they're not gonna fight unless they are complete. They need that, those Thanos stones, I guess, before they can make something happen. But Dragon is making something happen. Lady Jen now on the rampage.
Oh, definitely. You know, you would hate to get all of those passives. 3 stacks of Frozen Touch. You are definitely gonna get more damage coming from the Lady Jin, as well as you are gonna get Priest. This is the time you would want to build some itemization for you to be safe from magic damage, such as the Succubus Cloak. So I wonder if that's something RRQ already has in their itemization, because again, this is so much damage output already coming from Boom.
We can do that later once the panel does analyze the itemizations and all those highlights. And for now, see? Impressive! He's very, very aggressive on this Dodger Wave Breaker connecting onto the ult, but looks like a lot of skills connecting. Looks like he does not care. Actually, already in the back line, but Nikki does pay for that with his life. Doesn't matter, turret down. There is a hole now on the base of RRQ. Ajin in front. Dragon is very, very low, even though he does have flowing side. I don't think this is a fight Boom Esports could pick, but if their aim was to open up the base of RRQ, they made it happen. Aji again getting all that damage onto Jester. The Motsu forced to go back, and now you have by the front line 2 already frozen actually. But Boom Esports, they do get that kill. Dragon immaculate on this, ladies, and Ocean of Tears flowing side definitely made RRQ side, and the destructive Deluge is truly destructive, and they're not backing down. I feel like you guys should chill and take a step back so Kaysaya can go with her analysis.
Definitely, but we can see that, you know, 2 of the lanes to the side of Arc, they're already open. Super minions are going to be going down in there soon. And at the same time, damage, magic damage coming from U1 as well, taking advantage of the passive Poignant Melodies, wherein she could get more, rather the Mournful Tempo getting more damage up against the opponent once she casts that skill. But here we go with the power spike already of 5k gold lead. We are already onto the late game, wherein it is going to be very difficult for Ogren unless he has actually built the, tanky item for him. But of course, with that, they're going to be relying on just the damage coming from the Garo, if Garo will be staying alive. But here we go with the fight.
That will be a lane popping in with death at sunset, but the people are dying are actually RRQ. Gets a kill onto one, Toshi goes 6 feet underground, but now all these Frozen are connecting. Dragon made it out alive with just the skin of his teeth, but still, 2 heroes down, trading onto one for Boom Esports. Adi in the front, Mickey at the back, and they are focusing down on the turret. Mickey again, Charlotte, power graduation, tri-slash, gets all of those kills, and ult being popped as well. Boom Esports, they are here to win, and they are here to join the Esports World Cup for Honor of King.
Wow! Miggy, did you see all those dive plays coming from Miggy onto the backline? He doesn't care. He just wants to dive in and go for the target onto the backline and, just delete the main source of damage like that of the Garo and Mai Shiranui from the map in such a way there is going to be the free hit coming from the Fang. But then again, you mentioned it already, Boom Esports will continue their journey in the upcoming Honor of Kings Invitational mid-season this year. Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful best of 5. And we did see Rex Wagumkwan do what they can. They draft accordingly. They even try to really invest in the early game. But I think when it comes down to the split-second decisions, Boom Esports was definitely ahead. You saw it with Miggy. You saw it with Aj. You even saw it with Dragon in game number 3. His lane then definitely stepped up.
Who wouldn't be stepping up, of course, with lots of heals for you as a backup on that one. But yeah, I mean, they have the way to engage. They do have the way to disengage with this Lady Gen. They're actually overall balanced in their composition and how they're gonna play it. They have the source of damage mainly coming from the Fang, and of course, so much sustain with the heals from the Yuan and Indolia combo. And at the same time, Charlotte herself can sustain for even though she's alone, right, in his own lane, and at the same time, even trying to go for the dive onto the back line. So I think overall, Boom Esports really played their draft so well.
If anything, Miggy definitely went all in for game number 2 and game number 3. He was consistently winning in his lane, even though he was up against a hero that you would honestly expect that very aggressive, will try to go up against a Byron. But I think that's just it. We see all of these skill matchups, we see all of these stats, but at the end of the day, only one team will get that victory. And I already mentioned this, but the Fang and Dahlia pickup was very good. Blazestorm has a 30 or 27 second cooldown. With Celestial Melody, that's 0. But Toshi was definitely able to spam that beautiful combo. And Boom Esports, they went all in, and with that, they are rewarded with a slot for Esports World Cup. Enough about us, though. We are sure that you guys are interested on what our panelists have to say.
Thank you very much. And what a way to close that down. Boom Esports making it all the way now to the Esports World Cup, taking down RRQ. It felt like every single turn, Boom had something up their sleeve. Coco, that final match, it felt like it was a little bit less out of nowhere than the first two, I think it's safe to say, but it still felt like Boom had something planned, had something ready for every part of that match.
Yes, Boom Esports, they are using another composition in this game, and in 3 games they just used a different heroes composition, and this time they just want to teach RRQ how to play Dolia, but this time with Yuhuan, this hero actually has a very good spamming poking skill like the first ability and with the normal attack. And we can see that Achis just only poking enemy, and we having Dragon using Lady Turn to use the first and second skill as well as the ultimate skill. Every skill from Boom Esports can poke RRQ side, and it can let RRQ get into the team fight to fight against Boom Esports easily.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at around that 8-minute mark, right, Zero, for when Boom really wanted to start taking that fights. It felt like RRQ kind of had the idea that they wanted to sort of disengage and scale for late game. And you were saying during the match that you felt like RRQ, if they could stall it out, might have had a better chance.
Oh, absolutely. They've got Garo, one of the probably the best, one of the 2 best late game marksmen in the pool at the moment. So if it ever reached that late game stage, RRQ could have put on a better fight. But again, like during the draft, we were talking about this last pick Mose, when there was a Zhang Fei in the pool, and when you have a marksman like the Garo, you want someone to protect her. You want someone to provide you team fights, which has been the problem, which has been the elephant in the room for RQ's draft all 3 games, is that they always lack these team fights. They have a lot of single target. You've got the Mose, you've got the Mai Shirnui, but where's the team fight in your team for RQ? it's just been a very stark difference in their drafts. Whereas Boom, they have the Lady Zen every single game. They've got the Leah this game. They've got a Yu Huan. There's so much team fight from the side of Boom that if it ever reaches that mid-game stage where both teams are equal, then Boom's gonna take every single fight from there on.
Yeah, it just seemed like Boom had answers at every question. So really, I mean, fantastic stuff from them to be able to pick that up. There were weaknesses in the early game, but I think what's been said before, it felt like they just were teaching RRQ how to play, right? That's what you said before, Coco. And it feels like RRQ had one goal, while Boom had several all at the same time, and were executing on making at least one of them come on through.
Yes, and as what Zero just said about Mozi and Garo in this game, I saw that RRQ just banned out Mayin and Dharma in the second phase of the ban, but with this, they just banned out 2 heroes that can give some pressure to Garo, but they themselves just picked Mozi just in order to making that lane phase to be more advantage. But about the team fight, that is the more important thing that they need to consider about it.
I mean, I can't remember which one of you it was that when we were watching the draft and when Motsu got picked, it was like, oh, well, that's GG, it's 3-0.
That sounds like a me. That sounds like a me thing to do.
I feel like that's something, I feel like that might have been 0. But it obviously just didn't work out. They were obviously trying to keep that range, keep that pressure, keep that poke. Didn't really have anything else that it could do. So they didn't play to their win condition in that situation. And because of that, Boom have managed to make their way forwards. Now, we spoke about it a little bit earlier, but let's turn our attention to the future, because Boom have now got 11 other teams to worry about, right? Over in the Invitational tournament that they've now secured their spot to, the last team to be able to secure that. Zero, do you think that they can go all the way? Or if not, who do you think their main rival is going to be going into that tournament if you've looked through some of those teams going into this next stage?
I mean, if you look at the groups, they've got a tough group ahead of them. They've got the KPL Dream Team in the same group. They've got Falcons. They've got Weibo in the same group. That is a scary group to be in, and you never want to be in that situation. In this group where sure, the top 4 of the group moves on, but looking at just the competition, I mean, they have to take at least a couple of maps away from those top teams, or else they'll be fighting to avoid the relegation against with Loops as well as All Gamers Global.
Interesting. I think that it's going to be, well, they didn't fare too well, right? Back in season 2. Well, they did okay, but they didn't manage to get that direct qualification spot. Do you think that they're going to be able to do better against those teams, Coco? Because that really is that challenge. If you've looked at those groups. Similar question to what I asked Zero there. Do you think that they're going to have a good chance in that group?
Yeah, they have some chance, but I think this group is really tough. Exactly. And actually, the many teams in this group, like KPL Dream Team and Weibo from Malaysia, they are exactly strong as we think. And the 2 opponents that they need to see as well is AG and Loops, which are a bit scary because in the previous round of the Invitational series, AG didn't make it to the first place, but it was Loop from Brazil. And I think BOOM Esports, they need to get prepared a lot in order to counter those opponents in the next round. And they just have only 2 days left before the main event start, because today is 30th July already, and next 2 days is the 1st of August.
Okay, we've not got a lot of time at all, so I want very quickly. MVP Zero, who are you thinking?
Well, I think Miggy has been on a tear all these games. Like regardless of every single game, regardless of the matchup, regardless of the hero they put him on, he's just been really just carrying his team on his shoulder, never needing any sort of help to win the lane, and he's just been really outclassing Nightmare on the Clash lane. Like a lane on all 3 games. Yeah. I don't think he even existed. I didn't feel like the pressure, the team fight from the lane. He was just a non-factor, true and true.
Wasn't quite there. Coco, I hope you agree with that, but I think we're just about to head down to the stage. We're getting pings from production that they're about to give them that trophy for the SEA Showdown. I mean, Boom definitely putting in the work. I'm pretty sure we're heading over. I'm not sure. Coco, then, do you think that Miggy deserves that MVP title very quickly, in case we have to cut away?
Yes, he deserved that. And
Excellent.
this is my
All right.
shot bird.
There you go. Perfect analysis coming through from you guys. It's been such a blast coming into this game. Honor of Kings actually is going to be such an exciting week to come up in the Esports World Cup, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But the SEA Showdown has now concluded. It was Boom to be able to take a 3-0 in quite a dramatic fashion. Let's head down to the stage. Maybe not. Maybe we're still here. I think we are.
I think we're supposed to keep talking until the stage shows up here.
Okay,
John.
yeah, okay. No. I'll tell you what, let's actually go down to the stage now, because it is time to put Boom in the spotlight.
حياكم الله جميعا أعزائنا الحضور ومشاهدينا الكرام في كل مكان. ورجعنا لكم بعد نهاية مباراة كانت أكثر من استثنائية وكانت ممتعة وكانت نتيجة صادمة انتهت بنتيجة 3-0.
Indeed, Wajih. Welcome back, everybody, again on the stage. And after witnessing this amazing match we saw between Boom Esports and Rex Regum Quinn, also we saw a full sweep from Boom behalf Wajih and only one team heading to the Esports World Cup.
ولكن الآن نبي نرحب بالفريق ونسمع أقوى تحية لفريق بوم إيسبورت.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for the winner of Honors of Kings SEA Showdown, Boom Esports!
فعلا استحقوا هذا المقعد والتأهل بجدارة بعد ما شفنا المستوى الأسطوري منهم. ولكن أنا الأمانة جاني فضول نبي نسوي مقابلة مع اللاعب ميجي، فحابين نرحب فيه معانا ونسأله بعض الأسئلة.
Exactly, we want to know, كذلك we want to ask to one of the players from Boom Esports a simple questions, a few and a quick one. First of all, congratulations on heading to the Esports World Cup. And first of all, Miggy, I want to ask you, how do you feel after winning this tournament?
It's feel like honored and overwhelming. We didn't expect that we finished 3-0, but we did it, yeah.
مثل ما سمعنا قال انه فخور اكيد انه بعد ما فاز بهذه المباراة، لكن كانت نتيجة غير متوقعة نفس ما انا ذكرت. ولكن الان بعد ما فازوا بهذه المباراة بنتيجة 3-0 وتأهلوا إلى كأس العالم للرياضات الإلكترونية، فحابين نسمع عن تجهيزاتهم لهذه البطولة.
And also, after winning this tournament and heading to the Esports World Cup and becoming one of the teams that are going to participate in that major event, we want to know, are you guys prepared or not?
We are prepared. We preparing almost one month now for the other teams also, not only for RRQ.
يا سلام أكيد التجهيزات بتكون من فترة طويلة، ولكن مثل ما سمعنا كانت تجهيزاتهم لأكثر من شهر، فأكيد أنهم داخلين بقوة، وأتوقع أن هذا هو السبب الفعلي اللي خلاهم يفوزون بنتيجة 3-0. ولكن قبل لا نودعه وقبل كل شيء حابين نسمع كلام منه سواء للجمهور، لأصدقائه، لأحبابه، للجمهور ومحبين فريق بوم إي سبورت بلهجته أو بلغته الخاصة.
But before we wrap this up and end this meeting, we want to know, and we want to hear, it's not a question, but we want to know, do you have a word for all your fans and friends and family who's watching this tournament and this live stream?
Thank you sa mga supporters namin sa Pilipinas, sa family ko, and sa mga sa Tencent PH na nagbigay ng opportunity para sa amin dito. Maraming salamat dahil nagtiwala kayo. Thank you.
يا سلام. طبعا بتقولون لا بترجم، لا ما يمديك، لا فعلا بترجم لكم. وش قال؟ قال شكرا لكل شخص شجعنا، وبنكون مشرفين ايضا لدولتنا الا وهم الفلبين، وهذا اللي اقدر عليه للامانه. فلا توهقني يا يوسف، لا توهقني يا نورمان. فالف مبروك، يستاهل.
And you'd be amazed, actually, if it can like translate or that or not. He said he's proud of winning this tournament and also proud of all the viewers and the friends and the family who was watching the stream and supporting him alongside his journey. Bawaji, that was it. Thank you so much, Mickey, once more, and congratulations on winning and heading to the Esports World Cup.
Congratulations. ألف مبروك. بعد ما شفنا هذا المستوى والأداء الأسطوري اللي كان من فريق بوم اي سبورت، للأمانة مثل ما قال ما كان متوقع أبدا أنهم يفوزون 3-0، ولكن بناء على تجهيزاتهم وقال أنهم جاهزين لأكثر من شهر، فهذه هي النتيجة.
Exactly, Waji. Every team is ready and excited to be in that huge tournament. We're talking about Esports World Cup, one of the biggest tournaments right here in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. And that was Boom Esports heading to that.
بداية البث وحنا جالسين نقول بطولات استثنائية، وفعلا هذا هو أكبر بطولة بالعالم في المملكة العربية السعودية وتحديدا في الرياض. ولكن أعزائنا الحضور ومشاهدينا الكرام، شكرا لكم سواء كنتم متواجدين معنا بالفيديو أو خلف الشاشات. هنا وصلنا إلى نهاية هذه البطولة وهذا اليوم، فشكرا لكم.
Exactly, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this tournament, and also thank you for the players who've been a part of this amazing journey and amazing tournament. But that was it. Shout out to our lovely Arabic and English talents, casters and analysts for wrapping this amazing day. But that was it. But until then, Waji, stay tuned, keep your head up.